Welcome to the video where we're going to find the equation of a tangent line and where we need to use the quotient rule. So when you look for the equation of a tangent line, you need to see at least two things. First, the given function, and then second, the point. And as you can see, we're not always giving you both x and y. X can be given, but y, or in this case f of x, is not given, so you still need to find it at some point. And the equation of a tangent line in your mind should be already holding in your memory y minus y0 equals mx minus x0. So what do you need to find and what is given? x0 usually is given, that is 2. You can even put it here, that's 2. Y sub 0 is not given, that's f of 2, we will need to find it. But the most complicated part is actually to find the slope. M. How to find that? That is f prime. So the first step is to find the derivative. So just remember that if you're panicking on the exam, remember that the equation of a tangent line starts with finding the derivative in both calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3 classes. So f of x is given as the quotient. So to find the derivative of that function, you will have to use the quotient rule. Quotient rule. This is how I remembered quotient rule. I first need to square the denominator and keep it like this, don't touch it. Then I find the derivative of the top of the fraction, which is numerator. The derivative of the square root of x. Take a pencil if you're afraid to do it right away and write down somewhere that square root of x prime is the same thing as differentiating x to the 1/2. Then it is power rule. 1/2 goes down, x to the minus 1/2. So it's going to be 1/2 x to the minus 1/2. That's derivative of the numerator. Then copy the denominator 5x plus 8. That was simple. Minus is part of the formula, that's why order matters. Then copy the numerator, which is square root of x. Differentiate the denominator, which is just 5. The derivative of 5x plus 8 is 5. Now, probably we should simplify this to see what is happening. Don't touch denominator, it's still 5x plus 8 squared. Then what is happening at the numerator? Well, let's distribute everything we see and see how it goes. 1/2 times 5 gives you 5 halves, right? X to the negative 1/2 times x, what is that? Again, if you don't understand something, take a pencil and write down x to the minus 1/2 times x. So I'm distributing this piece over here. That is based on the exponents rule, 1, you should add negative 1/2 and 1. Negative 1/2 plus 1 is positive 1/2. So it's going to be x to the 1/2, which is basically square root of x. Now, plus 8 times 1/2 is 4x to the negative 1/2. Minus 5 square root of x is x to the 1/2. You don't have to write it down like this, but then it will be easier to factor out. Square root of x is x to the 1/2. Now, see what you can factor out. I would factor out, I guess, x to the minus 1/2 and put it in a denominator. So that will give me a square root of x in the denominator. So I will have 5x plus 8 squared. Now, I can definitely factor out 1/2 if I want to. So it's going to be 2 in the denominator. So factoring out means dividing by, right? If I'm factoring out 1/2 from all of, if I'm factoring out 2 from all of this, I'm dividing by 2. So if I'm factoring out 1/2 from all of this, I'm multiplying by 2, right? So 1/2 gives me 5 over here. Then I'm factoring out x to the minus 1/2, like so. x to the minus 1/2. Maybe I should actually not skip steps or else you get confused. X to the minus 1/2 over 2. This is what I want to factor out, just for you to know. And again, factoring out means dividing. So the first term, this term, has both. It has 1/2 and x to the 1/2. So I will have only 5 left. And then x to the 1/2, take a pencil if you're not sure about this, x to the 1/2 divided by x to the minus 1/2. Why I'm dividing? Because factoring out, again I'm repeating 5th time, means dividing by. But dividing means I need to subtract these exponents based on the exponent rule. 1/2 minus negative 1/2 means 1/2 plus 1/2. That gives me just x to 1, and x to 1 is just x. So I'll have 5x left. Make sense? Plus 4, but I'm dividing by 1/2. But dividing by 1/2 means multiplying by 2. So that's going to be 8 because we're dividing by 1/2. X to the negative 1/2 cancel out. And finally, minus 5. Oh, we could actually add up 5 over 2 and 5 x to the minus 1/2. I just realized that, but it's fine. So I will have 5, but I'm dividing by 2 by 1/2. So I'm multiplying by 2. That's going to be 10x. And again, I will have just x. So did you understand how I got that part? This piece over here, when I'm factoring out x to the minus 1/2, I have the same situation I got here. X to the 1/2 divided by x to the minus 1/2 gives me just x, just like we had situation before. We could collect those terms before. But then when I'm factoring out 1/2, that means I'm multiplying by 2, so that's how I got minus 10. Okay, and now we are almost done. We are almost done. Why I wanted to do it? Because then 2 and x to the 1/2 can go to the denominator, 5x plus 8 squared, and at the top I will have 8, and then minus 5x, because 5x minus 10x is negative 5x. And that is my slope. That is my f prime, slope m. But we need this slope at 2. So we also need to plug 2. Where does 2 come from? Over here. So let's find slope at 2. F prime at 2 will be 5 minus 8. 8 minus 5 times 2. 2 raised to the 1/2, that's the square root of 2. 5 times 2 plus 8 squared. Should I indicate where my 2 is? So I'm plugging 2 everywhere I see x, which is over here, and over here. Calculating everything gives me 5 minus 10, that's negative 2. I have a square root at the bottom. 2 and negative 2 cancels out, so the answer is negative. And it becomes 1. So do you want me to write down 5? It's going to be minus 2 and 2 and the square root of 2, and then 10 plus 8, 18 squared, right? This is what I got. What did you get? Try to compare with your answers. 2 and 2 cancels out, so the answer is negative. Slope is negative here. It's going to be 1 minus 1 over 18 squared is 324. Square root of 2, and that's my slope m, which we're going to plug into the formula. Negative slope means the function is decreasing. And the last thing, we also need to find, so that was step 1. Step 2 was plugging in 2. Step 3, find f of 2, which is y sub 0. That one was not given. Sometimes we give it to you, but not in this case. That means go to the original function. So plug 2 into the original function. The original function is the one with the x squared of x over 5x plus 8. So f of 2 will be square root of 2 5 times 2 plus 8, which is square root of 2. 10 plus 8, 18. That's my y sub 0. Finally, we have everything for the step 4. Step 4 is filling in the formula. Y minus y0 equals mx minus x0. Basically, sometimes people remember rise equals scaled run. And m, which is a slope, is a scalar. So, y minus square root of 2 over 18 equals m. m is over there, I can see it, minus 1 over 324 square root of 2, x minus x sub 0, which is 2. Simplify this. And by simplifying, sometimes we ask you to answer it in the form of, that's the 5 extra step, which I actually require in my classes. We ask you to answer it in the form mx plus b. In this form, actually, it's a more scientific way to answer because you see slope more obviously, and the shift. B is a shift, as you remember. Y equals, that means I need to move the square root of 2 over 18 to the right, minus, and then distribute the slope over here, so it's going to be times x, and plus 2 over 324 square root of x. And now collect the terms. Y equals minus, so that means I have negative slope. Now it's very visual, times x. And kind of you're supposed to create the common denominator here. So let me calculate. I have calculated and I got that it should be 19 over 162 and square root of 2. And that is the final answer for the equation of a tangent line to the given function at the given point using quotient rule. So how did you like that? Hopefully it was not too bad. I have one recommendation to make at the very end. To be honest, we did not have to simplify all of this. This step sometimes is a little bit too extra because technically speaking, we just needed to plug 2. So why not just to plug it over here? This was derivative, right? We found a derivative. So why not just to plug x equals 2 over here, and instead of simplifying, we just right away find the number. We just need the number. Here it is. Here is the number we are looking for. So technically speaking, it doesn't really matter how you found this number in the simplified form or not. So all this was a step which is a professional way to go, but maybe not always necessary. So you decide if you want to do simplification or not. Depends on the situation. Well, hopefully this video helped you, and see you next time.